Today we are going to talk about news, because that is another thing that you show interest in your needs assessment, the survey, in the questionnaire that we filled out a while back. So today we're going to talk about news, and again, we will keep in mind noun clauses. Like, we can never escape. We'll keep coming back to noun clauses. But to just start the discussion, to start the class, we're gonna warm up a little bit by talking about news. So, do you watch news? Do you like watching news, or do you have to watch news? You can talk to someone sitting next to you, to your classmates. If you do, how do you keep up with the news? There are so many things going on. Okay? Yeah, we can talk about this for about 7-8 minutes, and we will share with the class.
I don't know some news because people know what's
I have no idea what are the news. It's always fun. I can do anything against or for. So
That's interesting. So you said you were involved in journalism? So you around a lot of news.
that's the same one.
Not here.
like Brazil, yes, watch
Okay, that's this guy. They are making a research about religion.
so they always have
They think that
but I didn't really like watch all
I have a
I don't think I'm like
That's true.
You just said that you used to not much.
Yeah.
So you used to listening or watching it in your own language,
On the
but
first
not so much.
So they are making some
Because
hours.
it's really close. We talked about some news recently. What's going on? Maybe not just in the United States, but around the world, in your hometown. Oh, so you have newspaper?
has a newspaper.
You have to?
I like.
Very convenient.
I'm from the older times. Because I'm just from the website.
You read a lot about
Yeah.
the full on news too. Online.
So are you more used to reading newspapers, or are you more used to reading news online? Both? Wow.
Yeah. Even here, I sometimes go in the metro. I take the newspaper and I still reading the paper, or they have a lot of free newspapers,
Yes.
so I can take.
Because there is no internet.
And in my house, the Washington Post every day there.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can read it in Washington Post.
Nice.
And that's good. I can improve it.
Talk about.
Basically, in Spain, just both in the newspaper and the kids read like newspaper, and I was like, okay, but I do. I listen to the radio.
Yeah.
So between the songs, they always.
Oh, they have some
Sometimes I
Yeah.
don't know
news
songs.
announcements.
Okay, I gotta go back. And the recently news that I saw was about the Prince George going into the actress.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And about the earthquake.
That happened here?
Yes, in Delaware.
Uh-huh.
That's
The
so
first time I see that.
Uh-huh. So, okay, so, talk about.
Yeah, we talk about that I keep up with the news by watching TV generally, but sometimes for following Turkish news, I use the internet, searching on the internet about Turkish
Oh,
news.
long to read.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't
Smart, yeah.
find any newspaper or TV. Yeah, I can find, but on the internet, maybe I can watch
So they
TV,
allow
watch
you to
Turkish
listen
news.
to
But
They should.
time, I didn't watch the news. So I can find on the internet Turkish news. Some news. So I recently saw that there is a man, whose name
Oh, yeah.
Ryan.
Clint?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
That guy, some relations with Russia.
Yeah.
He also a supporter of Trump.
Uh-huh.
There is some accusations about that man. I couldn't understand. I saw that.
Yeah.
They are talking about
Because it's a politics.
politics.
Very
What happened?
complicated.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know.
Okay. So let's all talk about what you saw or how you watch news and what are some of the events that you recently see or hear. There you go. And so let us do a quick poll. So how many of you read newspaper, like in print? Newspaper. I don't. But you do, right? You have newspaper with you. And how many of you watch news on TV? Again, I don't. I don't have a TV. And how about searching for news on the internet? A lot of you, a lot of us. This one I do, because I'm on Facebook, Twitter. These are some of the websites you can get news and see what people are talking about. So yeah, let's talk about it. So if you read newspaper, where do you get newspaper? Do you buy newspaper at the store, or do you have subscription? Like, how do you get newspaper? Yeah. I believe in your group you just talked about, huh?
Here in the United States, free.
Yeah.
There's boxes.
Yes. So on the street, in the box. Yeah.
Or in metro.
In the metro. Yes. And how about TV? Like, what do you see?
I think CNN and
CNN?
FX.
Oh.
And the
Fox.
Washington news.
And Washington.
The Washington.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Right.
CNN.
Different TV channels.
Mhm.
Yeah. And some of them are called fake news by our president.
Yeah.
And how about the internet? Like, what do you see? Or what websites do you go to? What's that? Al Jazeera? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. CNN? Yeah, they also have website, yeah. BBC. Yeah, these are really good websites, good news resources, news sources. Oh, a word that I just mentioned. So with newspaper, you can have subscription. Can anyone tell me what it means? What's subscription? It's a noun.
I don't know.
When you sign and you pay,
Mhm.
you see in your house every month.
Yes, that's right. And how do you know that it's a noun? Subscription.
The FX.
Yeah, that's right. This function.
Yeah.
So if you want to get subscription, you can. What is the verb?
Subscribe.
Yes, that's right. This is the verb. Let's do them together. So for the noun, you can get news subscription, and you can also subscribe. Yeah, good. Okay. So what is some of the news, the recent news? Can I get through? Three events that happened recently.
Earthquake in Delaware.
Earthquake in Delaware. And you said you heard this on the radio, or?
Oh, actually, some friends felt it. I didn't
Oh,
feel it,
really?
so we were talking about.
Yeah. And
Every day I see on TV a sexual harassment.
sexual harassment. Yeah.
harassment. Or
Mhm.
a guy shooting everywhere,
Yeah.
killing people.
Yeah. That's being very big
Yeah.
lately in
And
the U.S.
about taxes.
Oh, yeah, it's the tax reform.
Tax reform, yeah.
Have you heard about the tax reform in the U.S.? The new bill? No? Yes. It's a new tax bill that the Trump administration is pushing for right now, but it's really complicated. So if you're interested or if you're curious what's going to happen, you can go to one of the news websites, like you said, CNN, BBC. They will have full coverage. Speaking of coverage, what is coverage? These are some of the words that appear with news a lot. So you can have news subscription, and you can also have news coverage. So what does coverage looks like? What does it look like? Coverage. Yeah, it looks like cover, this part, right? So yes, cover is a verb, coverage is a noun. So what do you do when you cover something?
Include.
Yeah, like you cover. Okay, I covered this one. But in journalism or in news reporting, when we report something, we can also say we cover this piece of news. We cover an event. Okay? And the news coverage, the noun for it would be coverage. Okay? So, like you said, there was an earthquake. So if, let's say, if Washington Post had a news report on it, then you can say Washington Post covered that event. Yeah. read them. Okay. Oh, so yes, let's go back to that. So that's another thing. What about back there?
Oh my gosh, Prince Harry got engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did you see that? Or where did you hear that?
I saw the post on Instagram that like the
Oh.
Kensington Palace account post like the what was it, the statement?
Yeah. The statement or the announcement, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So you also get news on Instagram.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So it's everywhere. Like
Yeah.
you get news everywhere. And it's funny that you talk about it because it is actually I don't know if some of you saw that, but it is what we're going to talk about today.
Oh my god.
So we will watch a short video about the royal engagement in just a minute, but here are some of the questions to help you focus on the news coverage of this event. Can someone read the first sentence? This is what we call the summary of a news report. It's not everything, but it's just one line to give you an idea, like this is what we're talking about.
The British royal family has a rebelled
Revealed.
when and where Prince Harry's wedding with the actress Meghan Markle will take place.
Yes, good, thank you. So yeah, the British royal family has revealed. Can someone tell me what they did? What did they do when they reveal something? Yeah, that's right. So if you I don't tell you something, it's my secret, then I don't reveal. But if I tell you, then I reveal it. Yeah. So the royal family let out the information, let out the news, so they revealed. So here are some of the questions, and we will again get together in groups, and you will want to have a piece of paper with you to write down some of the. You don't have to write out everything, but just something, so that you can keep in mind. This is something in the news. Okay? This is to help you get the key information. Take some time to read through the questions, and we will have maybe four of you read the questions. Do you want a paper? We can throw the paper ball again. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's start with this table. Okay, you read the first two questions.
Okay. When is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding? What is the date? Exactly. What will happen around the same time?
Great, thank you. So these two questions are about the time, right? So we will look for the time of the wedding. Okay, and you will Throw the ball. Hey, you got it. So question 3 and 4.
What is so special about the Windsor Castle?
Uh-huh.
1 for the Queen, 2 for the Prince Harry, 3 for the Prince Harry's father.
Yes. So the Windsor Castle is where they will have the wedding, or at least that's what the plan is. And it's a special place. And in the news, you will hear why it is special. It is special for the Queen, it is special for Prince Harry, and it's special for Prince Harry's father for different reasons. So they will mention their name. So you can look at them, try to read them. So when you hear it, you'll know, oh, so this is the part where I need to pay attention. Okay, let's get the ball rolling again. Oh, right in front of you. Do you want to catch the ball? So question 5 and 6, please.
What is what Simpson? What was Simpson on metal? How common? What is Mark going to do for everything?
Yes. Thank you. So Wallace Simpson is someone mentioned in the video. So we will learn more about this person when we watch the video, or when we hear the video. And then religion is something that is big in the royal family. And we will find out soon about this part. Now, the last 2 questions. Yes.
Name 3 persons who are likely to appear at the wedding,
Mhm.
and what do you think are the details they need to discuss, and how can the public be involved?
Yes. Thank you. So there will be names. So listen to like toward the end of the video, there will be names. Some people might attend the wedding, like big names. And the last one, this question is different from the first few, because as you can see, the first few questions are what we call factual questions. Let me write that down. So what are factual questions? When you see factual, you think of, yes, a fact, right? So if when you get a factual question, the answer is a fact, right? So there is just one answer. So is there going to be more than one answer for question 1? No, because the time is a fact, right? So there is only going to be one answer. But what about question 8? What do you think are the details they need to discuss?
It depends personal idea or personal
Yeah.
thoughts.
Right. So there can be so many possibilities, and you can have your own opinions. So these are what we call thought questions. And this distinction between these 2 types of questions is important because we will try to create some questions later. Okay, so now it's time for
The news.
okay. So I will play first without the video and have the questions on the projection. Let me see if this,
Now that the royal engagement is public,
it's loud enough. Can you all hear it? Okay.
now that the royal engagement business of planning the wedding. It'll take place in May next year, though no specific day has been announced yet. That'll be just after the birth of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's third child, expected in April.
William and I are absolutely thrilled and such exciting news. It's a really happy time to enjoy this happening.
The venue is to be one of the Queen's favourite homes, centuries-old Windsor Castle. The couple chose it, they say, because Windsor has become a special place for the two of them. Keeping with custom, the royal family will pay for most of the wedding. The chapel, St George's, is where Prince Harry was baptised and has hosted many royal marriages, especially second ones. Harry's father, the Prince of Wales, and stepmother, the Duchess of Cornwall, had their religious blessing there in 2005.
I think that Windsor gives them more control in terms of the fact that they can have who they want behind the walls of Windsor Castle. St George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel with so many kings and queens buried there and tombs there. I think actually you'll find it will be an incredible occasion.
The chapel holds around 800 guests, so it'll be more low-key compared with the 2,000 capacity Westminster Abbey where the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge wed in 2011. Charles and Diana were married at the equally grand St Paul's Cathedral. Meghan Markle will be the first American to marry into the royal family since Wallis Simpson famously wed King Edward VIII, forcing his abdication from the throne. Like Simpson, Markle is divorced, but 81 years later, it's not an issue. As for religion, though she attended a Catholic high school in Los Angeles, Markle is Protestant and plans to be baptised and confirmed into the Church of England. The guest list promises to be high profile. Markle counts Serena Williams amongst her friends. The Obamas and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are also likely to attend. It's unclear whether US President Donald Trump, though, will even be invited. Unsurprisingly, Markle will become a British citizen, but plans to keep her American passport for now. A glimpse then into how this couple plans to be married, and they say they're going to be across every single detail. They also want the public involved and are working out how to do that. Max Foster, CNN, London.
Okay. Oh, the accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the recorder is from is from London. Did you get most of the questions? Or was it too fast? Do you want to hear it again? Let's hear it again, and maybe this time slower. Let's see. Let's play the speed 20.
Now that the royal engagement
Is it medical? Is it not? Unnatural?
Yeah.
Does it help? Do you want to hear the normal speed? No?
I don't like it.
You don't like
Sounds.
the
That
sound?
seems so weird.
So do you want to keep it normal speed or slower?
You can try slower one more time. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Now that the royal engagement is public, it's down to the business of planning the wedding. It'll take place in May next year, though no specific day has been announced yet. That'll be just after the birth of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's third child, expected in April.
William and I are absolutely thrilled. It's such exciting news. It's a really happy time for any couple. We wish them all the best. Hope they enjoy this happening.
The venue is to be one of the Queen's favourite homes, centuries-old Windsor Castle. The couple chose it, they say, because Windsor has become a special place for the two of them. Keeping with custom, the royal family will pay for most of the wedding. The chapel, St George's, is where Prince Harry was baptised and has hosted many royal marriages, especially second ones. Harry's father, the Prince of Wales, and stepmother, the Duchess of Cornwall, had their religious blessing there in 2005.
I think that Windsor gives them more control in terms of the fact that they can have who they want behind the walls of Windsor Castle. St George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel with so many kings and queens buried there and tombs there. I think actually you'll find it to be an incredible occasion.
The chapel holds around 800 guests, so it'll be more low-key compared with the 2,000 capacity Westminster Abbey where the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge wed in 2011. Charles and Diana were married at the equally grand St Paul's Cathedral. Meghan Markle will be the first American to marry into the royal family since Wallace Simpson famously wed King Edward VIII, forcing his abdication from the throne. Like Simpson, Markle is divorced, but 81 years later, it's not an issue. As for religion, though she attended a Catholic high school in Los Angeles, Markle is Protestant and plans to be baptised and confirmed into the Church of England. The guest list promises to be high profile. Markle counts Serena Williams amongst her friends. The Obamas and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are also likely to attend. It's unclear whether US President Donald Trump, though, will even be invited. Unsurprisingly, Markle will become a British citizen, but plans to keep her American passport for now. A glimpse then into how this couple plan to be married, and they say they're going to be across every single detail. They also want the public involved and are working out how to do that. Max Foster, CNN, London.
Okay. Does that help? Listening for the second time? Slower? Okay. You can compare your answers with your partners and see if you have the same answer.
Prince Harry and then there.
Yeah, it's really
I
quaint.
don't know what it is, something, but I didn't get the
But like in there, because of the
Especially for the gospel when you then like
She was,
the Prince Harry where
when
is that guy?
I think that was for
Prince Harry, that's why.
Yeah.
And for Prince Harry's father, it's religious blessers.
why is it special?
Because we're religious blessers, but I don't know if it's gonna like that. I just into the blessers. I don't know why it's special for the queen. For blessers. It's blessed. Okay, yes. I think blessed. She was she was
He's another.
it's like
That's my statement somewhere. I know he has
They can be like
Maybe,
this.
yes.
Westminster Abbey. Like they can be like, it's like hundred people and one I mean, it's 2
She was not.
They said about, I don't know if they invite or not.
Why was the other like for the wedding of
Is mentioned, right? Because you think
the name of
he
his,
is
other
going to wed.
Harry and Prince, she can write
Yeah, I forgot that he was.
Don't remember.
That's why you understand. It says there, I didn't find it.
Okay, I don't remember. But in 2011, and then married No, because Charles is Prince Harry's father.
Yeah, I know.
And the brother is
William. Thank you.
Yeah. William. And he used to get married in the Westminster Abbey.
That was so weird.
Westminster Abbey? So he is Wallis Simpson.
Yeah. So, let's go. Are you ready? Let's go through the first 7 questions
Because they said
because they're
18
factual.
years ago.
We can check our answers and then we can discuss the last one in groups. So I have, what was that? Okay. So, as you can see, I have some candies here. So, if you want chocolate, you have to. I know this one. So are you ready? Let's go to the first question. When is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding? What is the date? So that is the first question. Are you ready? 3. So on count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here's the chance.
The next May,
Uh-huh.
and they don't have a date yet.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yay. Got it. Congratulations. Okay, then the second one. What will happen around the same time? Again. On count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Kate and William will be have like the third child.
What is that?
April 2018.
And then King William, Prince William.
Prince William?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And his wife.
I have the third child.
Yeah, will have.
Is that right? Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you have?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Huh? There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the third question. What is so special about the Windsor castle? We can talk about any one of these. Again, 1, 2, 3. There you go.
For the Queen, Windsor Castle is one of her favorite homes.
Yes.
For Prince Harry, Prince Harry. Yeah, he was baptized there. Prince Harry's father and his wife, they got blessings there.
Yes. Yes, correct. Huh? Thank you. That's very accurate. And the fourth question, why is the place considered more low-key? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
They were ladies.
Okay. So, they verified 800 people, but the place is like 2,000.
Which place?
The resort place?
It holds how many people?
2,000. But 800. Now I'm confused. Yeah, they said 800, but it feels like 2,000.
So you're not sure? And
I think
would you like to clarify that?
in Windsor Castle can 800 people, and in the other one, Westminster Abbey, can be like 2,000, so it's less people in the Windsor Castle, so it's better from that way.
I see. Yeah.
It wasn't like, I understood, it was like, okay, he's more low-key than like the wedding that happened in 2011, which is like, was the year, it's not the, yeah, not
The-
the, isn't it?
The year is it?
Yeah. Wasn't it here?
No.
No, it's like, it's the number of that?
Yes, it is
Oh,
the number.
okay, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We will take a look at the news report translate. We'll see. I think here's your job. And question number 5. Who is Wallace Simpson? We just talk about like the second question, like what do they have? What do Simpson and Marco have in common? Okay, ready? 1, 2.
What they have in
Three.
common?
Yes.
They are divorced.
They're divorced. They're both American. Yes. Great. So, how about both of you? You? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, they're both American and they are both divorced before they got married.
Based on name for a female?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, Wallace Simpson is the one. Was a woman. And then question 6. What is Marco going to do for work? And 1, 2, 3. Yes.
He's going to be baptized in the church.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. There you go.
Thank you.
And then the last one is the last chance. Question 7. Name 3 persons who are likely to appear at the wedding. Notice it's likely. Okay, you want to give it a try?
The Minister of Canadian, Prime Minister Obama, maybe. I know. Trump is invited, if he's invited, something like that.
Okay. I think Trump is likely to go to the wedding. Maybe.
No,
You want to
it's not
do
invited.
it?
It's not invited.
There's one more name. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so many people. I mean, who got that question? The question 7. You have 2 names and you said Sarita. Right? So, 1, 3, 2.
You rebel.
I mean, a lot. Yeah, there's more, so if there's more opportunities for questions, go ahead. Okay, so now I will pass around the transcript for this, and we will listen and watch it again. So this time when you listen, you can check your answers. Like, oh, this is where they mention the time, place, who are going to attend. Okay, let's go. Is it normal? Oh, yeah, that's on this time.
Football engagement is public. It's down to the business of planning the wedding. It'll take place in May next year, though no specific date has been announced yet. That'll be just after the birth of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's 3rd child, expected in April.
William and I are absolutely thrilled. It's such exciting news. And it's really happy times for any couple. We wish them all the best and hope they enjoy this happening.
The venue is to be one of the Queen's favourite homes, centuries-old Windsor Castle. The couple chose it, they say, because Windsor has become a special place for the 2 of them. Keeping with custom, the royal family will pay for most of the wedding. The chapel, St George's, is where Prince Harry was baptised and has hosted many royal marriages, especially second ones. Harry's father, the Prince of Wales, and stepmother, the Duchess of Cornwall, had their religious blessing there in 2005.
I think that Windsor gives them more control in terms of the fact that they can have who they want behind the walls of Windsor Castle. St George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel. There's so many kings and queens buried there and tombs there. I think actually you'll find it will be an incredible occasion.
The chapel holds around 800 guests, so it'll be more low-key compared with the 2,000 capacity Westminster Abbey where the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge wed in 2011. Charles and Diana were married at the equally grand St Paul's Cathedral. Meghan Markle will be the first American to marry into the royal family since Wallace Simpson famously wed King Edward VIII, forcing his abdication from the throne. Like Simpson, Markle is divorced, but 81 years later, it's not an issue. As for religion, though she attended a Catholic high school in Los Angeles, Markle is Protestant and plans to be baptized and confirmed into the Church of England. The guest list promises to be high profile. Markle counts Serena Williams amongst her friends. The Obamas and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are also likely to attend. It's unclear whether US President Donald Trump, though, will even be invited. Unsurprisingly, Markle will become a British citizen, but plans to keep her American passport for now. A glimpse then into how this couple plan to be married, and they say they're going to be across every single detail. They also want the public involved and are working out how to do that. Max Foster, CNN, London.
Okay. Is that a bit clearer now? Yeah. We can go back to the question. So, we're just talking about, which one? Oh, question number 4. Right? Why is the place considered more low-key? Now, here's our chance again. But this time, let's try to answer the question with noun clause. So, because we're talking about news report, right? So, you can say it is reported that, and after that you can say whatever, anything that is reported in the news. So who would like to give it a go? Using this construction. It is reported that, to answer question number 4.
Is it for what question?
For the 4th one, question 4,
Okay.
number 4. Why is it more low-key? Yes, please.
It is reported that the place, Windsor Castle is more lucky because it can hold around 1,800 guests.
1800.
800? Sorry. 800 guests.
That's right. Great, thank you. And here's one more piece of chocolate for you. And later, when we are doing our group activity, we will have more chance to use this construction and also to review noun clauses. It is reported that something happened. Okay? Now the last exercise we're going to do with this video clip is we're going to listen to it again, but this time instead of looking for keywords or key information, I want you to pay attention to the intonation. So what are some of the pauses or some stresses? Because when we report news, sometimes we put emphasis, and intonation is one way to do that. So, for example, when we see these questions, when we see these sentences, they are not just one word. We read them as a group of words. So for the first one, instead of reading like a translator, how do you keep up with the news? We'll read it like, how do you keep up with the news? That's like a chunk. So now let's try that with this video clip. I'll play it again, and you can highlight the parts. And if you hear a stress, and mark it, and then we will look into that.
Do you have one more?
One more.
So I can highlight.
There are two.
I can add. Thank you.
Anyone?
No.
Are you ready?
Now that the royal engagement is public, it's down to the business of planning the wedding. It'll take place in May next year, though no specific day has been announced yet. That'll be just after the birth of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's 3rd child, expected in April.
William and I are absolutely thrilled. It's such exciting news. It's a really happy time for any couple, and we wish them all the best and hope they enjoy this happy moment.
The venue is to be one of the Queen's favourite homes, centuries-old Windsor Castle. The couple chose it, they say, because Windsor has become a special place for the two of them. Keeping with custom, the royal family will pay for most of the wedding. The chapel, St George's, is where Prince Harry was baptised and has hosted many royal marriages, especially second ones. Harry's father, the Prince of Wales, and stepmother, the Duchess of Cornwall, had their religious blessing there in 2005.
I think that Windsor gives them more control in terms of the fact that they can have who they want behind the walls of Windsor Castle. St George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel with so many kings and queens buried there and tombs there. I think actually you'll find it will be an incredible occasion.
The chapel holds around 800 guests, so it'll be more low-key compared with the 2,000 capacity Westminster Abbey where the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge wed in 2011. Charles and Diana were married at the equally grand St Paul's Cathedral. Meghan Markle will be the first American to marry into the royal family since Wallis Simpson famously wed King Edward VIII, forcing his abdication from the throne. Like Simpson, Markle is divorced, but 81 years later, it's not an issue. As for religion, though she attended a Catholic high school in Los Angeles, Markle is Protestant and plans to be baptised and confirmed into the Church of England. The guest list promises to be high profile. Markle counts Serena Williams amongst her friends. The Obamas and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are also likely to attend. It's unclear whether US President Donald Trump, though, will even be invited. Unsurprisingly, Markle will become a British citizen, but plans to keep her American passport for now. A glimpse then into how this couple plan to be married, and they say they're going to be across every single detail. They also want the public involved and are working out how to do that. Max Foster, CNN, London.
Before we go into that, you can compare your highlights and marks with your neighbors, your partner, to see if you have the same.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to. Okay.
You're gonna say the date.
Yeah.
Oh, what is
Yeah,
that?
oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it does say that, yeah. Expressing that.
Yeah.
What do you think it is stressed? What's special about that?
It's weird, right? I think
And I think the Canadian is the same. The dance watch it.
Yeah.
and it's really weird.
Yeah.
The way
I
I
never heard it.
What is it? What is it? I don't remember.
What?
I'm gonna remember when I tell you. It is
I don't know.
really weird. Ricky or
But do you know what it means now? Oh, I see. Okay, we'll look at it together. Oh, no, what the reporter was saying. So we were listening to the reporter, and sometimes he stresses some part of the word. He stresses, like,
And then I put on juice.
So
And before
we
put
look
like on
at
and make
Also there are
so
because it's
when
like
he uses this part, show what was he compared with. That's when he emphasizes leopard. No, we'll get to that part.
and this one for all for now. And this one, every just that.
Who's gonna make
Our job.
Okay, let's go through this passage together. So, and I hear from you what part of the news report you think is emphasized. So earlier, maybe you can give us one example.
Me?
Yes. To see what it means, like how intonation plays a role.
It helps us to understand or practice the word, the meaning of the whole sentences, maybe. The more important part,
Yes.
actually.
The more important part. So we use pronunciation or sound. When we read the text, we don't just read it flat, but we emphasize one part of it. So when he was reading, when he was reporting this news, he emphasized some part of it. For example, the numbers, the place, the time. Can you give us one example, please?
I catch this in May next year, though no specific dates. In the first paragraph, the second sentences, in May next year, though no specific date. It focuses on stress on this part. I think so.
That'll be
Let's hear this part.
just after the birth of the Duke is in May next year, though no specific day has been announced yet.
Do you hear that? Though no specific date. So yeah, like you said, the reporter is emphasizing, using intonation to emphasize it's in May, but we don't know the date yet. Yeah. So that's how we know that something is more important. Maybe this information is what the reporter is trying to say. So when we watch the news, when we listen to the news, something we need to keep in mind is that they're actually telling us something is more important just by using intonation.
Even we couldn't listen to it carefully, we can understand which intonation,
Yes.
the part, important part,
Yes.
or the whole meaning. We can catch the
Yeah.
core of
Yes, the core meaning. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. So that's also something we want to practice when we listen to news in English, because it's not just about understanding the words, because as you have seen in the paragraph, there might be a lot of words like names, places, or the word you just looked up. Could you tell us what word it was?
You said this without
Uh-huh.
doing the word I told you.
Yes.
Application.
Yeah. Could you tell us what it means?
Well, it's been
To
kidnap.
oh,
Oh, it's
you
another-
might have found another word. To kidnap would be abduction.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Because they abduction. Oh, that's a movie. That's the definition. So that is to kidnap, abduction. But the one you have, abdication. Especially when you see in a sentence, it says abdication from a thorn, right? So when you abdicate, you let it go, give up, especially with a royal position like this. But what I was saying is that when we are listening to the news, there are a lot of words that we might not understand. But instead of listening, like pay attention to every single word, we can listen to intonation because it helps us understand this part is important. Okay. What about other parts of the so this is one of it. What else do you see? You saw something. You saw something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Here, when the commentator is saying St. George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel. So this is magnificent.
Yeah, let's hear that part.
So many kings and queens buried there and tombs there. I think actually you'll find it will be an incredible occasion.
The chapel holds in 2005.
They can have who they want behind the walls of Windsor Castle. St George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel with so many kings and queens buried there.
Did you hear that? You read that? Can you try to read that like the way he did?
I can try.
St. George's.
St. George's Chapel is a magnificent chapel.
Exactly, just like that. So that's how we can use intonation to make something even more. It's a magnificent chapel. What else? Can I have one more?
I think this was the willingness to be one of the Queen's favorite homes, centuries, and the other one is keeping with custom. These two.
The venue is to be one of the Queen's favourite homes, centuries-old Windsor Castle. The couple chose it, they say, because Windsor has become a special place for the two of them. Keeping with custom, the royal family will pay for most of the wedding.
Good. Can you try to emphasize the same part?
Okay, the venue is to be one of the Queen's favorite homes, centuries of Windsor Castle. And keeping with custom,
Yes.
royal family will pay.
Yes. So the reporter is trying to emphasize that.
It's a custom,
Yes.
a general rule maybe,
Yeah.
paying the whole wedding.
So here is one thing that I noticed is this number, 2000. The chapel holds around 800 guests because the reporter is trying to say, the number.
Occasion.
The chapel holds around 800 guests, so it'll be more low-key compared with the 2,000 capacity Westminster Abbey where the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge wed in 2011.
Do you see how dramatic that was? Would someone like to give it a try? Read the 2,000 capacity, that part? This part. Can someone read this sentence? So it'll be no?
I can read. So it will be more low-key compared with the 2,000 capacity.
Yeah, thank you. Piece of chocolate for you. So when we're trying to like emphasize like the number, how big something is, we use intonation 2,000. Like it's not just hundreds, 2,000 capacity. Okay. So for the last part of the class, here's what we're going to do. We just watch a news video, answer some questions to identify the key information. So we learn how to take notes, and we learn how to deliver information, and we also practice a little intonation. Now, with your smartphones, this is what I want you to do. Go to YouTube and look for CNN. So we'll go to YouTube. So now it's your turn. You will find a news video. Go to YouTube, look for CNN. The first one, CNN channel. And here,
on the air at 6 o'clock.
choose one video, just a really short one, about 2 minutes, like the one we just saw. About 2 minutes, and then you will do the same. Take notes, deliver that information, and now it's your turn. I gave you some questions to answer, and now it's your turn to make up some questions. Okay? So, this is what we're going to do. Here. So go to CNN on YouTube. Take one video, no more than 3 minutes, about 2 minutes. Watch the video and discuss in groups. So maybe we will break it down. Maybe we will have 3 here, 3 here, 3, and 2. Okay. And so in your group, discuss what video you want to have, what video you want to watch, and create the questions. And I erased it. Have some about 2 factual questions like who, what, when, where, and then maybe one question like what do you think about this? Okay? Any questions? If you need help looking for videos, let me know. We will want to spend more time summarizing the videos and creating questions. Yeah, but the thing is,
That's right.
Yes.
video about this one. Show me this. Maybe.
Video. Yes, okay, okay. Everything about everyone.
Oh yeah, there's Wi-Fi here. Yeah, you can go to Wi-Fi and find guests.
Not the one with the tax.
We have a video?
Yeah, but I think translation is not enough.
Yes. Yes, one video, one group. Yep. So, you want something that's funny?
Why?
Oh.
I know, but it's not. Yeah, but it's just 1 minute. So. Yeah, but we have to find questions. Like if it's 1 minute, then it's like just to who and what. Just about that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
No, so, and then you have to go down and you can
Yeah, please, because
But it's, yeah, you don't got that many.
Video. They're looking for what kind of video to use and not want to take.
politics, no
You want to go to Las Vegas? There's probably one. They have other.
Picture. What are you doing? Want to come on a
Okay.
You have the same video?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think go back to the program here.
Okay, 5 minutes. Class, we have 5 minutes to summarize the video in one sentence and like three questions. And then at 2:30 we will play the game.
Yeah, for 20 minutes.
Why happened?
Masashi says he is surprised at all the attention his business is getting. And yes, he is thinking of a possible expansion of it. He might move to a bigger and cleaner space. But living a simple is part of our charm. A simple idea gets stressed out and sometimes lonely city.
Like change.
So that's weird. Also, right?
Can I take a selfie just by saying take a selfie? Take a selfie, take a selfie.
When it comes to college admissions, eligible rates
So we do on this one? Okay. So, what do we have to do? The question three.
Okay. Do you have the video?
Yeah.
Okay, can I have the video and I can pull it up?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Why? Okay. So, the video. With whom? Maybe we can use.
let's have it up. I just put it up real quick.
Okay, so who? Yes. Japanese dog. Who? It's that. Young guys. Yeah.
for salary. And here in Tokyo's Akihabara
Where
district, a place that's known for funny ideas, one former salaryman himself has come up with a very unique business. Sleeping specialty shop. Yes, people come here to cook.
So almost so the cost but good I don't know. They don't say. But oh yeah, if you want to you know but the price. Okay. The price I don't know. Yeah. So Tokyo. Yeah. So where Tokyo? When? What, so it's a new business?
This could be
Against what, of course.
this could be more transparent.
So it's like is that right? Usually, because it's not that.
We confess.
Yeah, confess.
Yeah, we confess. Copy this confess. Or cheating is what? In this order. With his song.
Okay, so now if I have
But
some.
okay. The type of
Talk about
But I don't know how to
it's like we figure it out.
read
Yeah.
to my writing.
But the important is that.
If you have to
But it's okay, you can still write.
explain what's the difference in 2 seconds, what it's about what? In 2 sentences.
What do you think?
Is government?
What is the situation there for this? Is that because their planes can't fly because of
Because it's not.
Yeah.
Video.
But what answers to expect?
The answer to
What
pay
do
find the
you- what would be the
text.
answer to that
So
question?
maybe this one's better.
for their flights,
From
because on their plane, are not working.
Yeah, between the couple.
It's not working, but they can't fly because of the weather.
No, their part is
Yeah, this is a work.
Yeah.
Like the
But that's
airplanes are
the
down.
video is about that.
So you're saying the flights are canceled?
Yeah, because that they can fly.
Because, yeah, due to weather conditions.
Because of that.
They can
Remaining for 10 questions.
So, three questions. Yeah, but 2 where we have to answer like, there is just one answer possible.
Questions?
It's in fact.
Yeah, you're.
And after we have to find another one, like,
So what's the
do you
video?
think about that? So one question is, maybe our woman can say why.
The last week
You get
Masashi Koda tells me, before you let your mind run wild, he says, yes, is just cuddle, nothing more. Customers pay about $40 to sleep next to a girl for 20 minutes. Some customers are young men looking for simple companionship. 21-year-old
yeah.
And why the just my airplanes are not flying.
What they're for,
And why the flights are canceled?
Okay, are you ready? Okay, so we're already at it.
It's unique and relaxing. I try to stay awake because I enjoy talking to girls. She has girlfriends. Myself, I never have a lot of chances to meet girls, so this is refreshing for me.
Why is this reflection for him? That's going to be a very good question.
Is this the video? Which one is it?
Fantastic job.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, the second one. The second one. Okay. So. Are you ready for the final game? Okay. So this is what we are going to do.
To do that.
Each group will have one person up here. So I will turn the floor to you. So one person will, from each group, stand here, play the video, and ask the questions. Okay? Which group wants to go first?
My group.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for getting us started. So, one of you.
Oh my
So group one is going to play the video, and like what we just did earlier, tell us the questions, and then we can watch the video.
The first question is, what is the reason of writing Jay-Z writing this song? And when did Beyonce and Jay-Z get married?
Oh. Was the question when?
When?
Oh, when they Beyonce and
Get married.
get married.
With whom did Jay-Z cheat on? Beyonce?
Yeah.
Beyonce? When did Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce? And Beyonce?
Okay. So 2 questions about people, 2 questions about time, right?
How many children do they have?
How many children? Okay. That's probably enough for now. Because we have a lot of questions.
Shall
So,
we play?
do you have the questions? Yeah. If you can repeat the questions. So the first one is when?
Where's the question? With whom did Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce? What is the reason of writing Jay-Z this song? And when did Beyonce and Jay-Z get married? How many children do they have? Or the most important one actually, why did Jay-Z write this song? And what is the title of album?
The album.
The album.
444.
444. It's the most important part actually.
Okay.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Play it?
Yes.
Super easy way to tell that your bet is awful. The raw edge test. Let me prove it.
Jay-Z's 13th studio album, 444, might be his most transparent work to date. On the album, Jay raps candidly about his marriage with Beyonce. Hov, the guy who wrote songs like Big Pimpin', married Beyonce in April 2008. The couple has 3 kids together. But on the title track for his new album, 444, Jay-Z admits he could have lost it all due to his infidelity.
You did what with who? What good is a menage a trois when you have a soulmate? You risk that for blue?
Jay told iHeartRadio he wrote the song after waking up at 4:44 in the morning. And he also broke down the title, saying, "It's the title track because it's such a powerful song. And I just believe one of the best songs I've ever written." Jay gets confessional on the track.
I never wanted another woman to know something about me that you didn't know.
He even admits to shedding some tears.
I promise I cried, I couldn't hold. I suck in love, I think I need a do-over.
This comes after Beyonce's 2016 album, Lemonade, which revolved around a narrative of infidelity and forgiveness. Hov's latest seems to confirm B's album was actually about the couple's own experiences. He also mentions the infamous Lemonade character, Becky with the good hair, on his song, Family Feud.
I'll fuck up a good thing if you let me. Let me alone, Becky.
These are quite the revelations from hip-hop's most private couple. It seems like they've moved past their issues, welcoming their twins earlier in June, and by avoiding the breakup and breakup albums of so many artists before that. I'm Insunul for Genius News, bringing you the meaning and knowledge behind the music. See you next time.
Okay. You have to consider. There's the chocolate, so you can use the chocolate to present
Chocolate.
Read again the question.
Yeah. Okay. What is the title of album? 4:44.
Yeah.
Because Jesse wake up at 4:44 and 47. Is that right?
Yeah, but it's not like the whole answer.
But why?
Yeah, he woke up at 40.
There's a reason behind that.
I
awakeness.
What's the question?
Yeah, that's right actually.
Can you repeat the question?
No.
Yes. Why is the title of album Sure Jay-Z 4:44? Yeah, this
That's the answer.
yeah, that's the answer.
what happened before. What is the right answer?
What is the right answer?
What is your answer?
Because he has some how can we say that infidelity, his wife, and he is not comfortable with that, and one day he just woke up and want to write this verse, confession. Actually, this is a confession of his marriage or cheating. Okay, I think that's right.
So, and a question was about the kids, right?
Yeah, how many children do they have?
3.
Yeah.
The names are Blue, Third Card, and Rumi. I don't have
I explain this one. What is the reason of writing Jay-Z this song? What is the reason of writing Jay-Z this song? I actually explained this. Yeah. And when did Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce? Or no, with whom did Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce?
Becky with the pretty hair. Becky.
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 Yeah, it's not clear, but
It's Becky.
Becky.
I know.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm just crazy.
Is there one more question?
Yeah, when did Beyonce and Jay-Z get married? When?
Yeah, but it's not like.
I think it's the beginning of the video, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2008.
It's 2000.
It is. They passed it back to Rihanna, not because they had
Okay. Thank you. We have the second group. Second group come up. Thank you. That was a very good job. Your group, thousands evacuated as volcano erupts. You ready with your questions? Give you 2 questions for.
2 questions for the
Yes, for the class. Yeah. Can we have one of you up here play the video and tell us your questions? And when you answer the questions, you can use the construction that we talked about, that is recorded at, that is mentioned in the video, that, where it is stated.
Bali, Indonesia.
Okay. So the questions.
The first question is, how many people are in shelters? How many people are in shelters? And what is the situation in the airport?
Sorry? What?
What is the situation in the airport? And why the flights are canceled? And
Why? Yeah. Why were the flights
so you can make this one. But then you need to answer like which answer. And I
Bali, Indonesia, are telling people, at least those in 5-mile radius of this volcano, that they need to leave and leave now. If you look at it, it's obvious why. A massive volcano in this popular tourist destination, spewing smoke and ash, and the plumes are going up over 13,000 feet. More than 25,000 people have now been evacuated, and several airlines have had to cancel their flights.
CNN's Ivan Cabrera is live from the CNN Weather Center as he watches this.
Ivan, tell us, more about this eruption. How long is it going to go on, and how bad could it get? Do we know?
Yeah, Martin, in fact, it had been behaving itself for a few weeks here. As you mentioned, 25,000 people still in shelters as a result of the volcano here. Mount Agung in Indonesia had been dormant since 1963. It has now been in the last few weeks. In fact, 2 eruptions in the last week. The latest one, very strong, goes all the way up to 13,000 feet, which of course is where planes fly, which is why we've had disruption in travel. We've had cancellations, we've had diversions, we've had upwards of 2,000 people at the airport there stranded and waiting for help. The reason the airplanes can't fly through this, we can fly through a lot of things, right? But ash in particular is very dangerous to aircraft because as that plume goes up, it has basically volcanic ash, and it also has components that can clog up the area here, and that could result in some significant problems with the engine. The magma cools, and then it cakes on the combustor then, and you got big time problems. And sometimes you can't see the plume of smoke. The particulates are so small that the radar on the aircraft can't even pick it up. So we'll watch this closely. The radar depicting some shower and thunderstorm activity, that will likely cause problems right at the surface as the ash comes down. In fact, we have reports that ash is falling as far away as the island just to the east. So we'll see if we get the big eruption, but for now, we'll continue to monitor the airspace there, which remains quite dangerous. Guys?
We did our letters. The first one, can I repeat the
Sure, the questions.
So, how many people are in shelters? And
Can I answer? 25,000 something.
Maybe, would you like to try using any one of these?
oh, okay,
Sentences?
sorry.
It is reported that there are 25,000 something people in shelter now.
Correct. Great.
And how is the situation in the airport and why the flights are canceled?
Yes?
I don't know exactly what, but it's mentioned that flights are canceled because it's impossible for the plane to fly with all the ashes on the air.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yes.
Ashes? Great. We're getting all the, you two are getting all the chocolates. And that's all the questions?
No. We have one more, but we didn't do it in the beginning, so I
Okay.
don't know if they will know. So how many feet of ashes has in the kingdom?
Oh, that's, yeah.
30,000 something.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, because like we were talking about intonation, because that part of the video, the person used very dramatic intonation.
Watches this.
25,000 people have now been evacuated, and smoke and ash, and the plumes are going up over 13,000 feet. More than 20.
13,000. Okay, great. Thank you. Good job. Thank you very much. And can we have the next group? Yeah, so all you have to do is come up here, play the video, and tell us your questions. Is it the first one? Okay. Okay. So read us the questions.
Questions. This video about the new business in Tokyo. Because you have to pay the condo,
The cutoff.
thank you, from girls. The first question is what are you looking for? How much cost the condo of 20 minutes? Would you be able to go there?
The first question, what was the first question? What is it for?
What are you looking for?
What the young guys are looking for.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are the okay. And the cost, right?
Yeah.
For 20 minutes. Are you ready?
A frenetic capital city, one of the largest and most densely populated anywhere in the world. Also famous for its tireless workers, or salarymen. And here in Tokyo's Akihabara district, a place that's known for quirky ideas, one former salaryman himself has come up with a very unique business. A co-sleeping specialty shop. Yes, people come here to cuddle, Masashi Koda tells me. Before you let your mind run wild, he says, yes, it is just cuddling, nothing more. Customers pay about $40 to sleep next to a girl for 20 minutes. Some customers are young men looking for simple companionship. 21-year-old Luhei Hiroki visits the shop almost every day. He tells me, I like coming here. It's unique and relaxing. I try to stay awake because I enjoy talking with the girls. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't, he says. I never had a lot of chances to meet girls, so this is refreshing for me. 19-year-old Hina is a student. She works here part-time. She says most guys come here to relax and rest after working hard all day.
They've clearly hit a nerve. It's about 9 o'clock on Thursday night right now, and just about every room is taken, and you can see the place is not big. It's about 400 square feet in total.
There are added services as well, but again, don't get any ideas. 1,000 yen, about $13, if you want to rest your head on the girl's knees for 3 minutes. Another $13 for a 5-second hug. Masashi says he is surprised at all the attention his business is getting. And yes, he is thinking of a possible expansion. We might move to a bigger and cleaner space, but maybe this simplicity is part of our charm, he adds. A simple idea in a stressed out and sometimes lonely city. Alex Solbert, CNN, Tokyo.
Wow, much fun.
He was answers.
Ready?
This is a video. And the first question: what are the younger guys looking for?
For friendship, simple companionship.
Yeah, I'm tolerant lactose. How much cost a cuddle of the $20? $40 your first would you be able to go there? Would you be able to go there?
No.
We don't need.
No, I don't have interest. If you go one time, you can say, hey, pass your number.
I would be able
You
to work
can do it outside, there's no
so
way.
easy, but okay. I think I don't have trouble for anyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
How
now,
much he said it was for a hood? I'm curious about it.
It's $13
$5.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
can work
it's
there.
oh my god. That's
No more shades.
like so
I think it's the best job in the world.
now let's welcome the last group. Yeah.
But really, this shop, it's like nothing. $13
Our video talk about how Paul Walker passed away, about the accident and everything, and how they kept recording the movie. The questions are, where did he die? How the movie production used his brother for, and who was driving the car at the moment of the accident. That's it.
Any questions? Let's play the video. Don't forget, when you answer the questions, try using this.
It's the film franchise that made Paul Walker a massive star. Fast and Furious, on its 7th installment, began filming in September 2013.
I don't have friends, I got family.
But only 2 months after production on the movie started, tragedy. Walker is killed in a speeding car. The moment of impact captured on this surveillance video. The car slamming into a light pole and tree, bursting into flames. His business partner, Roger Rodas, who was driving at the time, also dead at the scene.
There was nothing. We tried. We went through fire extinguishers.
A coroner's report indicated the car was traveling at an unsafe speed, more than 100 miles an hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Either occupant had drugs or alcohol in their systems. The driver, Rodas, losing control for unknown reasons. In the days that followed, it became clear how much Walker was loved by his fans. The oldest of 5 siblings, Walker grew up with a strong Christian background and faith. Apart from acting, he was known for his humanitarian work. In 2010, he took a team to Haiti to help with earthquake relief.
I'm just glad every time I saw him, I told him he said the same thing.
As the realization set in, questions turned to the franchise.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
How to finish the latest film. This was Walker just before the release of the first movie, explaining what made it all work.
You know, you hear about egos and, you know, people that are difficult to work with and blah, 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 blah. But everyone in this, we got along really well.
Most of Walker's parts were already shot when he died. Still, the script had to be rewritten. Producers decided they would retire Walker's character. Walker's brothers used his body doubles to finish scenes. And CGI, computer-generated imagery, was used to superimpose Walker's face onto their bodies.
I'm sure he's smiling right now because the way that this movie is done is always honoring him and paying homage to him, and I think that in the end, people are definitely going to love the way his legacy is being carried on.
He was one of the coolest chaps I've ever met. He wasn't a Hollywood type, he wasn't interested in the glam and the glitz. It was more about his family and about helping other people.
Paul Walker is survived by a 16-year-old daughter, and now a legacy of the most successful Easter weekend film of all time.
So what's the plan, Doc? One last ride.
Dan Simon, CNN, San Francisco.
So when did he die?
Play that.
They don't say like the date. Yeah, like it's like
Only the
2 months. Yeah, it's 2 months. Actually, yeah, 2 months actually after they started.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Alright? Okay. Can you?
No.
Can you try putting that in as an instruction? Yeah.
It is important that after 2 months, finishing the film or before the film. Yeah, he died.
So what did the movie production use his brothers for?
It is mentioned that they use his brother's I don't like
body.
Because it's similar to.
Yes.
What's your answer? What's your group answer?
They use like actually the body that was similar.
Yeah.
So, and somebody's eyes.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
think so,
his
but like.
brother played his double.
Yeah. And who was driving the car at the moment of the accident?
It's mentioned that was his business partner, but
Yes. So another
Thank you.
No.
Okay, thank you all very much for your hard work. Yeah. So, yeah, just a quick recap. This is what we have done today. Watch some news. We learn how to get the key information about the news, and also how to use intonation to get your point across. I hope you had a good time. So I will see you next Saturday. It will be our next last class. Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff.